Little Spirit, Christmas in New York is generally a really sweet story. This was released in 2008. It's directed by Leopoldo Gout and Susan Holden. It's written by Andy Rheingold, and we have a voice cast including Danny DeVito, Lucy Liu, Freddy Rodríguez, Brenda Song, and so on. Really great voice acting, really nice animation style as well. It took me a little bit of getting used to. It's quite bright, but after a little while, I'd say after about 5-10 minutes, I started to get used to it. The whole thing is just feature length at about 40-45 minutes, and the story is told from the perspective of a taxi driver, voiced by Danny DeVito. And it's about a little boy who moves to New York with his family, and unfortunately, his little dog goes missing. And it's all about trying to find the dog against this holiday backdrop while the family are also getting used to their new home. The story works really well. However, I don't like the character of the little spirit. And I don't want to say too much about this, but it's a little bright light creature that comes to help the little boy. And honestly, I feel like it took away from how moving the story actually was, because it just felt really gimmicky. And I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to make it magical, so young children will find this mesmerizing and whimsical and fantastical and other words rhyming with that. But I just found it personally to be a little too gimmicky. And it could have been a really sweet, believable, relatable story for a lot of people. And the direction just didn't work for me at all. And considering that's kind of part of the whole point of the narrative, I wasn't really that bothered. Did I enjoy it in general? Yes, I'd say I did. But at the same time, I also didn't love the fact that it was a story told by the cab driver. Not because I don't like the cab driver, I did, but because there were things that he wouldn't possibly know about. So there are parts of the story that he shouldn't have been able to tell. And I don't know, there were several aspects of the actual narrative that I just didn't care for. But the story in general is very sweet. The characters are very likable. The animation, as I said, once I got used to it, was quite pleasing. And it definitely has a warm, magical, heartwarming feel to it. So in general, it's pretty good. Little Spirit, Christmas in New York may not be perfect, partly down to personal preference. In fact, probably mostly down to personal preference. But that aside, I'd say it's quite sweet. And if it sounds like it might appeal to you, then it's probably worth checking out.